Hello everybody and welcome back to Lollipop Games. Today we're playing some more Katawa Shoujo, and I really don't know if I'm feeling it right now, but we'll give it a go, Let's just clear my head, get into the zone. Whew. Alright, okay, here we go. I wake up and take a hot shower, no Kenji in sight, thank God. Straight back into my room, the first thing I see is the familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser, and it makes me depressed. As usual. I'm not sure if this game is gonna help get my mind off anything. Ah, dear. Well, putting it positively, at least we don't have lots of medication to take every morning, right? So, I might feel the feels, but I don't have to do the swallows. I guess. But that's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing. Gotten over it. It's only been like 5 days, to be fair. No one's expecting you to just get over it like that. Actually, I think it's been like 6 months since the actual heart attack. It's just been 5 days here at the school. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before, for months. It seems like it's just time to get on with it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. So he's trying to be positive. He's trying to put a positive spin on it. My life may be different from others, but it's a life in progress. It's still mine. I've still got it. That's how I'll rationalize it. Good idea. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class early, as usual. As I step into the hallway, I cringe because I feel like Kenji's going to come out at any second. In fact, there he is now. I notice him coming around the hallway corner, stealthily making his way over to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me, soundlessly like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey. He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh, hey, man! I didn't notice you there! I'm really tired, actually. I'm just gonna... I think it's more like he didn't see me, but that's not really the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit... the math teacher. Yeah. I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So then... what's in the bag? My math teacher! In little pieces. That's how I like my math teachers. Nah, just kidding. I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I needed supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. I thought you just said you didn't go shopping. I also thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now, actually. So it's fine, actually, yeah. I decide not to point out the fact he's not actually wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open, slowly releasing a creak sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room, and then closes the door. Did you know that awkward is an awkward word to say in an American accent if you don't have an American accent? Awkward. Anyway, it's an awkward word. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Nah. Oh. Okay, I just wanted to know when the next test was. I'm still gonna take it. Duh, I just need to know what day I can't afford to miss class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it. And why did you have to go out when you can get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You just leave it at home? Nah, I don't use phones. You know, the women can intercept the calls and the signals, and then they get all your private information, so I don't have a phone. I have no phone. Yeah. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone? I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. Pretty sure you've got much, much, much darker, Kenji. Just chucking that out there. I have 2 theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-altering doom call. That's what I'm scared of. That's why I don't like answering my phones. If it's a blocked number, no number, unrecognizable number, I can't answer. I just can't. It could be anybody about anything. If it's that important, they should text, right? That's my theory. Or either all that, rational, irrational fear, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly, I can't remember it. Beaten in the head? Well, where else would I get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The arse? Huh? Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now that Kenji is officially more logical than I am. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one, yeah? Class is gonna start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school now. Night! Oh, but hey, do you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought 2 because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. Yeah, so I have 2. Thanks, but no thanks. Whatever, man. Have dry lips then for all I care. He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to the class. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces by now, though the names escape me still. Let's not try and learn them. I'm really bad with names. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing in school? The first days, I was pretty high-strung in class. No, you weren't. You let Shizune and Misha do all the work. No. That's a lie. That's a blatant fucking lie, and we all know it. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Actually, I don't give a fuck, and I'm not getting paid nearly enough to give more of a fuck. But have a good time. Also, come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food! Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you for Mikado. But what I mean was more that the remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bell, and everyone starts packing their things. I have a feeling we're just never gonna find out what the meaning of this festival is. Either that or we'll find out there, and it'll be like the whole meaning of this game. It'll be like some sort of sex festival or something. Muto deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. Know your place, ho. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Hisayo! I'm gonna make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunch boxes and the privilege of enjoying them in private with 2 bombshell beauties. Dun dun dun, who's it gonna be? Can't be talking about yourself, hey. Jokes. You're cute, but you're also 12. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. That's embarrassing. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose, as though in an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing out her modest chest and making the V for victory sign with her hand. Is this a confident-looking pose? My confident pose would be like, sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited? You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you should get some company. That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. So how about it? You're probably real lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer with pleasure. Let's go to the roof. The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. If I don't get up there, then she'll probably wander off, and then I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs lunch for herself. Who will? Come with me. Without answering her question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh? You're giving me your moldy old lunch? The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps, beaming into the sunlight. Ren. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. Eee! Hello. Yaps, you scared me, Ren. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Ren is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Ren has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. He's not going to be very good for us, THREESOME, yes? He's got a penis problem. Hang on, I'll be right back. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hiseo for lunch. If you know him, that's just even better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Either way, I'm not happy. Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There is nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. Wait, do people actually sit on the roof? It's like a garden in some schools. I see it all the time in anime, but I didn't actually realize that it was actually like a place that people went. That it was just like a secret spot, you know? A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere, a watchdog dog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolis seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or just get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's only going to be mine for one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly. I haven't had time to think about how I feel about it. Really? Because I feel like we talk a lot about how you feel about it. Like this morning, in fact. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one bag and 2 small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Hiseo, what are you waiting for? She is beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. Whoa, that's very close. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all 3 of us fit on it. My hair is so messy, I haven't brushed it for like 3 days. Impressive view. Oh, thanks, you charmer. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places the lunchbox in front of Ren and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch is promised. Homemade, no less, I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I made them myself when I can. Conversation dries off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Very important business. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. I wonder if I could do that. Let me try. Like, I can, but I have to use my... Look at my dirty shirt. What is that, actually? I have to use my arm to, like, pull my leg up. I don't know if I could just do it with my... I guess if I leveraged, yeah. I'd have to, like, use something as leverage and then just lean into it. I mean, I'm sure I'd get better eventually. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Of course it's a good thing. You're becoming more tolerant. That's always a good thing. Does getting used to this place mean I'm giving up on being a normal person? No. No, it doesn't. Or does it just mean I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? Yeah, that's my interpretation of it anyway. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. Very girlish. Like, as in, literally a girl. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch, trying not to laugh. It's not really that funny, but, I clearly think so. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How did you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes and a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs, get it? Yeah. It may have crossed my mind too that's why you'd be friends. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with Z-shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Yeah, actually, how did she get the tie on as well? How did she get anything on? Come to think about it, it'll have to be like elastic. Or you'd have a friend help you. Really? Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, 'cause you've got no arms. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now. It will save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. I thought she was like one of the more liberal, outspoken girls about her disability, so I don't feel like she'd get annoyed by that, but she seems to be a little bit. It's really good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I am thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot. Sorry about that. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. I don't actually know who wrote this story, but I'm thinking they're not native English speakers, because there's nothing wrong with this sentence. It's a great sentence, makes complete sense, but it's not one that you'd find a native English speaker producing. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of why I get a little bit confused with the reading sometimes, because I expect to see words that aren't there, because as a native English speaker, that would be how I would word a similar sentence. So I kind of read making presumptions about what to expect, and it's not there, and then I get all like, what? Like that sentence. It's slightly off, you know? Not complaining. I think that's cool. I just kind of get that feeling. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box, and it begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Wise. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. They've got no choice. There's a physical. You can't really work around them. They're just there, and you've got to deal. Rin especially so. Rin's a champ, man. It would be so difficult. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter entirely. I'm not sure. So, Hisao, how do you like it up here? Huh? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places. For the view. Thanks for inviting me up here, and for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature. The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Ren and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rendering puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding! I was kidding! My actual dog does the cutest frickin' puppy dog eyes. I know he's got an unfair, species advantage, but honestly, you will never see cuter, big, fat puppy eyes than his. I've got a picture, I think. There's my boy. Look at those little eyes! His name is Kadaj. I called him Kadaji. Kadaju. Or Waji, or Pajiwaj, or Laji-Daji. He's got many nicknames. But kidding! I was kidding! Don't look at me with those puppy dog eyes. I've got a thing for hurt puppies and small children, so you're really doing it for me right now, I'm not gonna lie. And I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Maybe something else next time. That was a weird wink. Good location, and the company's okay too, I guess. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now, or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Ren, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're gonna fade away. Ren shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we'd better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. See? Another one of those weird sentences. Hey! Yuko. As I drop the books I'd borrowed onto the return slot on the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry Yuko, I didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine, it happens a lot, I'm used to it by now. She sounds too much like Ren, but I'm sure she had like a "Ayo" kind of voice, like, "Hey, what is going on, man?" Kind of, I think. Can I help you? Can I help you? I don't know. It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye, like Hanako. As I do, I look over to the corner, where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Surprisingly, though, she's there, completely absorbed in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. Oh, you're not even going to say hi? After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, set out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. That entire library section chunk just felt like, oh, this part isn't long enough, let's just chuck that in there. Like, what the heck was the point of that? I spoke to Yuko like 2 sentences, I got some indiscernible books, got reminded that I like to read, and didn't talk to Hanako. Like, why bother putting that in? I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for the rest of my stay here. As I leave for the gate, are we gonna sit here and talk for 10 minutes about how this gate makes you feel again? I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The color of her hair and the tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I walk quickly up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. "Hey, Lily." She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does. "Hiseo?" "Yep, that's me." She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. "Good evening. What brings you here?" Once again, she gives a small, polite bow, and once again, I reply in kind before realizing that I didn't need to. You still should. The sentiment should still be there. It's the thought that counts, as Kenji says. "Just going into town. You?" My, what a coincidence." "Doing the same thing, eh?" I usually go shopping on Fridays." She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. "That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me." Not lost, worried. The two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. I didn't say hi or anything. But I saw her and just ignored her. That's fine, right? She lets out a small sigh of relief. "Oh, thank you. Yes, she does have a habit of doing that." "Avid reader?" "Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit." Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk down the quiet road. So many quiets in that sentence, God. With the road bereft of cars and the students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us, they should be in front of us, but okay. The quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. We can't talk to each other at all. That would just be fucking weird. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it. "Tired?" "Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days." That's an understatement, to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. "Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right in the middle of things." "Yeah, tell me about it." For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. "I guess Yamaku's just kind of different, though. I mean, the formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious differences. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll just get used to it, though, in time." My chair sounds like farts. It's not farts. I just thought I would let you know. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. "Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You could cherish the thoughts of making new friends." That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask her what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else.
So, where in town are you going?
That's actually a pretty good question. I'd come to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I had intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but with sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that doesn't seem very wise. I'm gonna have to ask her for directions. Again. I was just gonna get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way.
Well now, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself.
Looks like I'll be in your care again, then. Thanks. Together, we walk to the store, and my pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. She's fucking blind, mate. Give her a chance. Not that that's without reason. Yeah, I was gonna say. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter.
Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here...
It takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. So true. How would she get anything? She'd have to touch everything to know what she was finding. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she'd had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it would be my pleasure. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like you have a real big issue with this. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane, and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking it up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... She's gonna touch me, she's gonna touch me, her hand is gonna be on my body. Before I can complete the thought, I completed the thought for you mate, it's fine. She comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my butt in her slender fingers. Just kidding, it's my uniform, but yeah, butt's fine too.
Is this alright?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we could just do like this, like... You go here and I do that. That's fine too. But yeah, this is sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it is out of necessity. The only time a girl touches me is because she fucking can't see, doesn't have a choice. We navigate our way through the store with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with whatever I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? Too bad, 'cause I'm finished, bitch.
No, this should be everything.
Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we've both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment, I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer's heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Finally, she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me my two. You tired as well?
The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either.
Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right?
I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain.
I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I noticed a very distinctive figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but he, or should I say she, gets closer. I recognize her quickly. Rinza. Rin, what are you doing out here so late?
Rin!
Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. Yeah, it's Rin. Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression. What, you've got beef with Rin as well? Maybe you're the issue here, Lily. I mean, I gave you the benefit of the doubt because I like you more than the others, but if you've got issues with everybody else, maybe it's you. Something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. I'm good at that face.
I understand.
I guess Lily knows Rin too. Rin turns to look at us, clearly looking terribly out of it. Just like my speech. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly.
Hello.
There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late?
Oh, I was wondering about that myself, too. Just now. Yes. Some people asked us before. I assumed they were wondering the same thing. But I don't know. They didn't know either. I asked. And that's why I am still wondering. So that was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without the murder.
We can arrange some murder. I mean,
They were going that way.
She turns, facing... She can't point. She turns her whole body, facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went to, as if that was important. Then she rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, she doesn't give me that impression at all. Ren really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. What the fuck? I'm not reading that again. You get the gist. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. She also doesn't know what direction those people went, which is apparently very important. I think that both of us are in fact just scared of any response that might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. I was gonna say on drugs, but yeah, let's go with relaxed. Relaxed because of the drugs, probably. As if bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in the place of blood.
Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though.
No, I don't think it's that. It's either paint fumes or drugs. The other passerby were probably just worried, though. You do look really lost. The way you're standing in the middle of the street like a fucking weirdo.
Oh, I see.
Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case. Like not a weirdo pose, more like a sweet girl pose. Or a thoughtful pose. I ponder for a while whether I should chase this angle any further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decide on the latter. It seems that most of the time, it's better to try not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. And even if I win, it still feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said. Don't start thinking Kenji is right. That's where we're gonna have problems. Once Kenji is right, that's when this game becomes too complicated for me. Even when I lose, is this the power of the girls in Yamaku? Oh my god, we're gonna be feminist conspiracists. Damn, that could be fun. I push the thought aside as it's too dangerous to consider further. Yeah, we're both feeling that. Danger, danger. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So you said you weren't going to go down that train of thought, and then you did anyway. Logic. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give.
I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea, but it's there. A small one. Well, that sounds like progress at least.
Lily sounds as if she's spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Me neither, mate.
Yes, there is some. Definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. Anyway, I have, reasons.
The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. Well, that didn't last long. Rin's, as far as I can tell, unbased assurances aside, what should be done? See, I thought we were going to get an option like bring Rin back to school with you or let Rin stay in town. I was sure that was going to be an option, of which I would have definitely taken Rin back with us. You can't just leave her on her own at night in the middle of town, probably high as fuck. So that's what should be done. If you're ever in that circumstance, take your mate, even if they're not really your mate, take them with you. Be responsible, look after them, because if something happened and you were the last one to see them, you would feel awful, completely awful, and probably get put in jail. We could just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are. But it's late, and I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me, trying to guess what it might have been going on inside her head when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily is oddly quiet too. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you were going somewhere, not coming back to school. Any ideas where? Her eyes widen in shock, and she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this.
Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique!
No, why would you already know why would you think that?
You knew what I was doing!
No, I don't. I just making an educated guess. We walked the same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. That's some Sherlock Holmes shit right there. What does he do? He goes like that? Like that. Yeah. Boy, we're so smart. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears to jump quickly to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. You know, that's the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? No, I just feel like the people here are a little... Even the people with disabilities like physical disabilities still seem to have some sort of mental disability as well. And those with mental disabilities, you can't really tell that that's what their disability is, but I'm thinking that's what's wrong with, well, Kenji's got the eyesight thing too. But I was going to say Misha. Maybe I kind of feel like Misha's one of those like sociopaths that just don't have any empathy for anybody and is just completely off in her own world. But I guess we'll figure out eventually what's up with her. Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come back with us to school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind-reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying, right? Rin considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Does he actually mean like a literal episode? Oh, is this a cheeky nod to the fact that he knows that we're playing a game? Is this breaking the fourth wall down? Because if so, this would completely prove my point about the library earlier, that they just added it in because the episode wasn't long enough, and now they're like, oh, we've wasted too much time on it. Anyway, that's funny. That's fun. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk in her arrhythmic way. Probably not the greatest use of word there, considering I have actual arrhythmia. Looking like a mix of sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step. Stepping and tapping is what's happening right now. Apart from that and a few fragmented beginnings of a conversation, it's quiet. A quiet, apart from the relaxing one in town, that is. A quiet. What? I don't even know what that fucking means, but the gist is, it's fucking quiet. So, how's the mural going?
We are going to get bad luck. Never talk about work in progress. I'm sure it will be wonderful. Bad luck! La 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 la.
Tap, step, 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 tap. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamaku rests on top of is surprisingly steep going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse racing and breathing getting heavier. We're about to have a heart attack. Oh, we're so unfit. Almost there. I can see the gates already. More than that, though, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder. See, she can sense our discomfort. It's either going to be her or Hanako, which is kind of awkward that the two girls I like the most are both best friends, because we have to choose between them. Interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something, I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway.
Is everything all right?
All right? How do you mean? The fact I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. Also confirms, not a mind reader. Yeah?
You seem unusually tired, I guess.
Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Lily noticed it all too quickly. I don't really want to talk about it. Sorry, I'm not in a very good condition. Now, this is the reason why I decided this option. This is a way of letting Lily know that we trust her now, that we're friends. We're going to tell her what's wrong with us. Plus, Rin already knows, so there's really no point at this point keeping it a secret from Lily when this frickin' druggie knows about it. So, sorry, I'm not in a very good condition. It's alright though, I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days.
Oh. Is it something that is related to you being transferred here? I mean...
She cuts herself off rather abruptly before realizing she was being a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. She's really smart. I really like Lily. If it's Lily, I don't think I mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being.
Hanako said you looked fairly healthy, so I naturally thought...
Lily didn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to at least say something to ease her feelings. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her comfort about such things. It's okay. I have a pretty... Well, I guess the best way to put it would be messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I have heart arrhythmia. I had a pretty bad heart attack a while ago because of it, and spent most of the spring in a hospital. Ended in Yamaku, on doctor's orders. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react, given we don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I have the exact same reaction. To my surprise, in a moment's time, her face shows that she's come to some sort of realization. Wait! So the time when Emmy and you collided in the hallway... I grimace slightly. Her ability to connect the dots quite so fast is unexpected. Yeah, I guess. I'm a textbook example of why those rules about running on the corridors exist. Oh, that was a lot more dry than I intended. Lily visibly shies away from continuing the topic. While I do want to assuage her concern, I really don't want to dwell on this either. Can you just not worry about it? I'm fine. I try to offer a reassuring smile, but then I realize the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuringly, but doesn't say anything further. Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of her mural as if lightning has struck her. She's been so quiet for almost all the walk back that I'd all but forgotten she was there. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday the 8th of June. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to go into a fetal position and throw up. Or possibly in reverse order. Is something wrong? No, you dumb bitch! I'm just vomiting on myself for no fucking reason. Of course something is wrong. Console me! No, nothing's wrong. It's Friday and nothing is wrong yet. This mural is going to be finished by Sunday. So everything is alright. I'm allowed to talk about my work, by the way. Just not you. But do you have any Do you have any drugs? Or a time machine? Either or, I will have both. Preferably at the same time. Oh, this is not good, not good. So, she's behind on her schedule? Recalling Shizuni's exasperation at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She has left herself open for a told you so, unless she can pull off whatever she needs to by Sunday morning. She should just say it's finished. It's odd, you know? It doesn't look finished, but there's actually just a response from me, an artiste, about humanity's lack of never being prepared or finished, never feeling complete. It is artwork, huh? Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking as mortified as she can. Leave me! I am going to need to work on this for a while. Just go! Go! I glance at Lily, expecting her to share an incredulous look with me as I roll my eyes, but then I realize she's not really the one to do that kind of thing. Also can't see the eye rolling happening. I said, leave me to die alone. May we? Of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There is a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rin sure has a knack of making people feel worried about her. You weren't that worried when you were just going to ditch her in town. She seems like a person who should never be left alone, I agree. Maybe we should call someone? She sounded like she was going into shock or something. I'm sure she'll be fine. She's just, how to say... Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, a very unique person. I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion melodiously, nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I tend to keep my distance. So my guess was right. Lily offers a slight apologetic smile, as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings have prevented her from becoming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her, at all. Lily lets slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. I imagine she's exhausted by all this, as am I. I'd better leave you now and give these things to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Hiseo. She smiles very sweetly at me. It feels different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. A genuine smile we've obtained true friendship with Lilza. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I'd say, but that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin. Maybe. Yeah, good night. Say hi to Hanako for me.
I will. Good night.
Kenji, we're gonna have... Oh, no, that's the end. Oh, okay. I thought we spoke to Kenji again, but I'll just savesy. Yes, please. The invisible hat. Oh, yeah. I wear a hat now. Do you see it? Do you like it? Do you want one? Yeah, I can get you one. One exactly the same. It also protects your thoughts from the vast feminist conspiracy. I'm loving this game. Like, I'm really, really enjoying it. I love the characterizations. The plot's a little slow. I would like some relations. But it's really cool. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. If you are, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And I shall see you next time. Janet!